Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue.
And I'm Jordan.
Jay might join us today. I haven't heard back from him just yet. If he awakens from his slumber and decides to join, he'll pop in whenever he's ready. Um, we're doing more Kingdom Hearts today, and I I'm sure nobody cares enough to have noticed, but I decided to change the naming convention of these episodes a little bit. I went back and edited some of my previous episode titles because I was titling them by all of the things that had appeared in that episode. So the first episode was called Kingdom Hearts Key / Birth by Sleep, and then the second one was Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep / Kingdom Hearts 1. I was like, I can just wouldn't it be fun if I titled them all by different games, even though they start to transition. So the first one is now Kingdom Hearts Key. The second one is now Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and the last episode is Kingdom Hearts 1.
Cool.
So today I have to talk about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, and the game that comes after that. Well, it's technically 2. I would start talking about the beginning of Days and also Chain of. So you might go, well, Blue, what are you going to call today's episode then? Is it going to be Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories? Is it going to be Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, which is how it's pronounced? And to that I say, no, because technically there is now a game that actually coincides with the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1. So today's episode, I'm debating whether or not to actually put the full game title in because it's kind of a meme. But it will be about Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage.
Okay.
So I can't remember if I've given you this context before, but you might go, why 0.2? Well, I'll tell you why. So Kingdom Hearts 1 came out, in 2002, and Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2006. And then in between those two, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories came out. Then a bunch of remakes and console ports and side games and everything came out. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And for years, everybody was waiting. But what about Kingdom Hearts 3? When are we getting Kingdom Hearts 3? We want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, during the era of the PlayStation 3, Nomura was like, all right, getting down to business, getting ready to do Kingdom Hearts 3. It's going to be on the PlayStation 3. But before that, it's going to be so story heavy. It's going to tie in so many different story elements. I've realized that it might have been a mistake in trying to make Kingdom Hearts more accessible to people with different kinds of game systems. I might have separated the story too much because one person would need to have all of these game systems to play all of these games. So I'm going to start making the HD remasters. I'm going to collect them all onto the PlayStation 3. So I want to say 2012, he made Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD remake, and it included Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and Days. And then in 2014, he made Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remaster, which is Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and Recoded. And that same year, the PlayStation 4 came out, and he went, fuck. Well, now I want to make it a PlayStation 4 game. And so then what he did was he took the 1.5 and 2.5 collections and mashed them into one new release as Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 remake. And so it had all 6 of those entries for the PlayStation 4. And he was like, okay, there's that's 6 of the game stories in there. I still gotta do Dream Drop Distance, which came out for the 3DS. So I gotta make another collection. The others had 3 entries. I can make a little movie helping to explain Kingdom Hearts Key for people who haven't played the mobile game. And you know what? The third one will be a tech demo. More of the story of Aqua in the Realm of Dark. It'll show players what they can expect and get excited for the Engine 4 that we're using to make Kingdom Hearts 3. So this should be the last collection that I make before Kingdom Hearts 3. People have seen antsy. I think at this point it's like, right? So it's already been like 12 years since Kingdom. So he's like to signify just how close we are to. I'm gonna call this Kingdom Hearts 2.8 final chapter. And so then he's like, okay, I need a name for that tech demo. Well, it's a sequel to Birth by Sleep because it's Aqua, so I'll have that in the title. And a fragmentary passage is the name of the secret ending from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. So I can call it a fragmentary passage. It doesn't sound quite convoluted enough. I know, because it's the 2.8 final chapter prologue, I'll call this 0.2 to say this is the last piece of the puzzle, and then you're ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. So I spent a lot of time just explaining the fucking name.
I think that says a lot about the series.
It does. It's so needlessly convoluted, but in a way that kind of makes it more endearing somehow.
Yeah, that makes me think of something. I can't think of what it is. If I think of it later, I'll let you know.
So as a Christmas present to myself, I bought Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, the story before Kingdom Hearts 3. This is a book that came out in Japan prior to Kingdom Hearts 3's release in 2019. And only a couple months ago did we get an English release. Some may say, that's over 2 years. Why would translating take that long? To which I say, translating wouldn't. Licensing probably would. Like, when you remember the legal nightmare that Kingdom Hearts really is as a franchise, like, they don't have Tarzan in any game out after Kingdom Hearts 1. Deep Jungle and all the associated characters have been nixed in the series because the estate of Edgar Rice Burroughs wanted a lot more money, and Squeenix was just like, no. So every fucking game, like even the ones that completely rehash the Kingdom Hearts 1 plot, they've just ignored Tarzan's world now. And yet, because it's still part of the series history, there's a Keyblade that's associated with it, and there's important plot points. This book has to have images of Deep Jungle, which means that they once again had to work out a licensing deal with the estate of Edgar Rice Burroughs. So that's just one of the properties in this that they had to go through legal stuff with. So keeping all that in mind, some of that stuff's probably more lax in Japan than it is here in America. So, you know. But yes, this book is essentially an encyclopedia, and it's already taught me things that I didn't know, I never thought of. One of the big things that blew my mind when I was reading. Okay, I showed you what the Heartless emblem looks like, right?
Right.
Okay. And I told you what the recusant sigil is, right?
I think so.
It's an X that, when placed on someone's person or in their like name or title, the person who has control of the sigil can track them.
Okay.
And I told you that there's 2 different kinds of Heartless. There's pure blood Heartless, which spawn from darkness itself, And then there's the Emblem Heartless, which Xehanort manufactured using the big machine in Radiant Garden or Hollow Bastion. So it makes sense that if he made all the Emblem Heartless, he might have designed their emblem, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed he put a fucking X in the Heartless emblem so he knows where all the Emblem Heartless are at all times. It's just, there's so many little things like that I'm like, oh my god. This is dense. But anyway, I've got the book here, and it will just assist me. Like, obviously, I've got the shit committed to memory. I think I've proven that. But it'll just help me like get some plot points out a little bit more coherently, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, last I was telling you of the story, Sora gained the Kingdom Key, the Keyblade, and wound up going on a journey with Donald Duck and Goofy. After the destruction of his homeworld, Destiny Islands, he's looking for his friends Riku and Kairi. Donald and Goofy are looking for King Mickey and following the Keyblade wielder. And after going from world to world to world to world, sealing keyholes to save them from the Heartless invasion, Riku wound up taking Kairi's vegetative body to Hollow Bastion. He showed Sora that he was the original chosen wielder of the Keyblade, but Sora's faith in his friends and his own humbleness and everything made him the true wielder of that Keyblade. It went to him fully and truly. And beating Riku caused Riku to hit his low point and become possessed by Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. One thing I did forget to mention last time, after Sora releases his and Kairi's hearts, as well as all the other princesses' hearts, and he disappears, before we see him again as a little shadow, Ansem actually pops up again, but he doesn't look like Riku now. This time he looks like a grown-ass man. He's got more tan skin, he's got long white hair, yellow eyes, and an outfit that's very reminiscent of Master Xehanort's original outfit. Lots of leather and belts. The deepest V-neck you've ever seen in your life. And he's got a little Heartless emblem on his chest now. And so it should be noted that this is still Riku's body, but he's like transmorphed it or whatever. And like when they call for Riku, he's like, don't bother, your voice cannot reach where he is now. And as he goes to advance on them, he actually gets frozen in place, and like out of light, the image of Riku appears in front of him, like holding him back. And he's like, no, I won't let you use my body for this. So Riku is still trying to, like he's realized he's fucked up. He's trying to fight him and stop Ansem from hurting his friends. And then they wound up escaping back to Traverse Town after Kairi restored Sora's body. She gave him her Wayfinder, making him promise that he'll come back to return it to her, which he does, which gives him the Oathkeeper Keyblade. He also forms the Oblivion Keyblade from his memories of Riku. And now that all 7 princesses of heart, their hearts were in one place, out there in the cosmos, the door to darkness has appeared. Oh, and there's one other thing I should clarify. I said that the original heart of the world is Kingdom Hearts. That is the true Kingdom Hearts. It is the aggregate of all hearts. It's where they return to when, you die. And I said that doing this thing with the Door to Darkness would make it appear on the other side of the realm of darkness. I was not accurate with that.
Hmm.
Twice in this series, someone manufactures their own Kingdom Hearts. The big one everybody knows well because it's explained better in the game is in Kingdom Hearts 2. Xemnas uses a lot of people's hearts and mashes them together to make his own fake Kingdom Hearts. It's a Kingdom Hearts of people's hearts. But the Kingdom Hearts that's going to appear here is actually a Kingdom Hearts of Worlds hearts. You know how the Heartless have been going around and destroying all these worlds?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Ansem has been mashing all of those worlds hearts together to make this false Kingdom Hearts. And he accesses that through the Door of Darkness.
Okay.
All right. So, all that out of the way. Sora, Donald, and Goofy. They take off one last time in the gummy ship. I guess I'll also say when they fly in the gummy ship, they actually fight heartless ships.
All
It's whatever. It is not a good gameplay element in Kingdom Hearts 1. It is more enjoyable in Kingdom Hearts 2, and it actually becomes pretty cool in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's the development of the gummy ship. But so they arrive at a place in the cosmos called End of the World. It is a amalgamation of all of the remnants of the worlds that were destroyed by the Heartless. And it's clearly a world of darkness. Physics don't operate the same way there. They walk on top of water. Sometimes normal stone walls transition into looking like they're made of gummy blocks, like they're bright and colorful.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it's got it. It looks like what you might expect a world to look like, where reality is broken. Like shit is just like floating, and like stuff is warped, like it's a video game glitch. Like it's like you know when like a character model, like their neck stretches way too far in a video game.
Yeah.
Imagine that effect with the environment. It looks unsettling. And random balls of darkness will just sometimes drop out of the sky and land on you, and you're suddenly stuck in a heartless fight. Like it's Reboot. I know nobody knows what Reboot is. I know you definitely don't know what Reboot is. You're too young.
Yeah, I don't.
It was an early CGI TV show. It was about people living inside a computer, and whenever the user would play a video game, a giant purple cube would drop out of the sky, and whoever got hit by that cube would have to play in the video game as an NPC.
Cool.
Yep. Anyway, so they're going through End of the World. And they knew that if they defeated Ansem, who is the source of all evil in that place, the worlds would return to normal. All the people who have essentially died would return to where they belonged. Not people who have actually been turned into Heartless, but the people who vanish with the disappearance of their world. So the end of the world shouldn't exist in the first place, so it would lose its form during this process, and nobody knew what would happen to the people there. But Goofy said, even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere. I'm sure we'll find our pals again. So reassured that they'll be okay, they set forward, and they wind up fighting their way through. They even find portals that take them to sections of the worlds that Sora's already locked away from the Heartless. They're sort of walled off, so it explains how the Heartless, can still like be there in the world to be fought, even though they don't have full access to it. For gameplay purposes. But at the very end, they go through one last door, and the game straight up tells you basically like, yo, this is end game. They're like, when you go through this door, there's no coming back. Are you sure you're ready? And you go through it, and light pours out, and they step through, and they're on the Destiny Islands.
Okay.
And now this is the part where I will start talking about Aqua. So, do you remember anything about Aqua? I know it's been a while since I talked about her.
Not much.
She was training alongside of Terra and Ventus. She became a Keyblade Master.
Right, okay.
She's actually been a Keyblade Master longer than Mickey has. So that's fun.
Cool.
She wound up battling against Master Xehanort and Vanitas and Braig. But at the end of it all, Terra got possessed by Xehanort, and his body is actually what was split into two to make Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas. So Terra got possessed. Ventus, in order to defeat Vanitas, shattered his own heart, which then took refuge inside of Sora. So Aqua hid Ventus away inside of Castle Oblivion, which is the transformed version of their original homeworld, the Land of Departure. And she went to try and save Terra. And he started falling into the realm of darkness, and she sent him back up with her Keyblade and her armor, so that he could stay in the realm of light, and she allowed herself to fall into the realm of darkness. And she's been trapped in there for 10 years now.
Ooh.
Yep. At one point, a bunch of Darkseid, giant Heartless, went to attack her, but like the Keyblades of Terra and Ventus appeared flying through the air and took them down. So it's like, even though they're, both fucked up, it's like their spirits are still like encouraging her to not let herself die. Because at that point, she was so depressed, she was like, maybe I'll just let myself die here.
Mm.
And I gave her the strength to be like, no, there's always a way back. And so she continues walking, and she looks up, and she sees the Castle of Dreams, which is Cinderella's castle, or, Prince Charming's castle, whatever, which she'd already been to. And this is when she realizes that there is something happening in the realm of light, causing these individual worlds to fall into the realm of darkness. And they're like ghost towns. But she starts exploring. Actually, a couple of the worlds that she had visited before have like sort of amalgamated here together. Like, this world starts off being like the Cinderella world, but then it quickly becomes the Snow White world, the Dwarf Woodlands. Which at one point, she... Well, first of all, there's kind of a funny bit where she sees the casket that Snow White was in, that creepy glass coffin.
Yeah.
And she sees the image of Ventus sleeping inside of it, and she sees the image of Terra there, and she tries talking to them, but they're just illusions. Basically, her mind is playing tricks on her. At one point, she goes into the evil queen's throne room, and she gets sucked into the magic mirror, and in there, an evil version of herself manifests, and she has to fight this anti-Aqua.
Mm-hmm.
And anti-Aqua represents the darkness that's been steadily growing in her heart the longer she's been unprotected in the realm of darkness. Because again, remember, even if you don't willingly give yourself to the darkness, even if you don't get attacked by a Heartless and killed and turned into one, having no black cloak or no Keyblade armor inside the realm of darkness will slowly corrupt you. And she just barely manages to fend Anti-Aqua. After a little bit more wandering, she sees images of Ventus and Terra again. And at first she's like, oh, great, more illusions. But then Terra looks at her and is like, wait, what? Aqua? What are you doing here? And she's like, wait, you're talking to me? And he's like, yeah, I'm not an illusion. I'm Terra. She's like, what? How are you here? He's like, well, I'm not really here. Like, it's sort of this thing that your heart does where when it's, consumed by darkness and you're possessed, like a sort of like astral projection, like a manifestation of you appears in the realm of darkness. And to like sell the point that he's not really there, she mentions Ven and he starts looking around even though he's right next to him. And he's like, Ven's here too? And she's like, you can't see him? It's like, I can only really see you. So it's like her heart has connected with his in this space of darkness. But as she's talking to him, she's not looking at him, and so she doesn't see his hair slowly turn white and him very visibly struggling, and then doesn't notice his fucking voice change when he starts asking about Ventus's location.
Feels
and
like something you should notice.
Yeah, I'm like, Aqua, honey, come on. But eventually she does go like, oh, wait, you're not Terra. It's like, yeah, he hasn't been for like a minute. Please keep up. And Terra and Xehanort actually squabble a little bit before Aqua winds up passing out from like the intensity of the moment. And she wakes up. She gets woken up by Michael J. Mouse.
Okay.
And he's wearing a shirt. It's very important that you know that he's wearing a shirt. Okay,
yeah.
I want you to remember he's wearing a red shirt, and it's super important, man.
I've got it. I've got that locked in the vault.
Cool. So he's like, Aqua, cool, it's good to see you again. How's it been? And she's like, I mean, I'm in hell, basically. But like, she's like, hey, look, time doesn't really work the same here. It feels like I've simultaneously been in here for like an hour and also all of eternity as I can comprehend it. How long has it actually been? And he's like, it's been about 10 years. And she's like, fuck, okay. She's like, so what are you doing here? He's like, all right, look, here's the deal. Heartless are invading. Shit is going down. The door to darkness has appeared. In order to close it, it needs to be closed from both sides of the realm of darkness and the realm of light. And it needs to be locked from both sides with 2 keyblades, 2 kingdom keys. There is the kingdom key on the realm of light, which my friends are currently fighting through stuff to use it. We need to get the kingdom key D, the realm of darkness's version of the kingdom key. And she's like, all right, cool. So I will jump back to the Kingdom Hearts 1 events right now.
Okay.
So Sora, Donald, and Goofy are on the Destiny Islands, and it, like the Castle of Dreams or the Dwarf Woodlands, is a world that is now manifested in the realm of darkness. And although it looks exactly as it did before at first, some changes quickly make themselves known. At one part, the beach looks like... You ever see a slow motion video of a balloon popping?
Mm-hmm.
And like how it like slowly splits and like spreads outward, almost blossoming like a flower? Imagine if the beach popped and then stopped half pop. Like it just splits open and there's like a dark crater. The water turns purple. And the beach, instead of becoming a gentle transition into the water, starts becoming like jagged cracks, like almost like they're standing at a cliff. And on one of those jagged cracks is once again Riku standing there, in his little dark pajamas. And Sora and them run up to him, and he starts again talking with Ansem's voice. And he's like, "Look at this pitiful world. To the heart-seeking adventure, this world is like a prison surrounded by water. And this boy sought to escape that prison, and he gave himself to darkness." And he turns around, and his image transitions once again into Ansem. And Sora calls out to him again, "Riku!" And I actually got it wrong. That's when he's like, "Don't bother. Your voice can no longer reach him where he is." Speaking of Riku, in the final mix version, we see a cutscene of Riku. So you know how Terra sort of manifested, like astral projected into the realm of darkness? We see Riku in the realm of darkness walking. So even though we know it's not really his body, because Ansem currently has that, this is like the manifestation of his heart. So he's walking through, and he hears a voice telling him, and I'll skip the rigmarole. It's Mickey. He's like, "Oh, we gotta close the door to darkness, Riku." He's like, "All right, yeah." Well, and what's great is that the first thing Riku is concerned about isn't that he is estranged from his own body or trapped in hell. He asks if Riku and Kairi are, or if Sora and Kairi are okay. And Mickey's like, "You already know the answer to that." And he feels in his heart, like he sees this image of Sora running towards him, and he's like, yeah, they're okay. All right, I'll help. Because again, Riku is not a bad person. He was a kid that was manipulated by bad people. Very upsetting. But yeah, so I'm gonna just start quoting some stuff because this section has some of the best quotes from the original Kingdom Hearts game.
Okay.
And I've got like most of these scenes memorized. So this is where Ansem starts doing his famous speech. Ansem Seeker of Darkness, not Ansem the Wise, obviously. And he's like, "All worlds begin in darkness, and all so end. Every heart comes from the darkness. Darkness grows in it. It consumes it, and eventually every heart returns to the darkness from whence it came. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence."
Ooh.
And Sora says, "You're wrong. The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned deep down there's a light that never goes out." And at this point, Ansem crosses his hands over his chest, starts floating, and goes, "So you've come this far, and you still understand nothing.
Ooh.
Every heart must fade. Every heart return to darkness." And then he summons his Come Guardian, his guardian. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy start fighting him. And I've seen new players play this fight for the first time. They always get shocked at how many different stages this fight has, because every time they think it's over, there's another thing that happens. They fight him once on the beach, and when you deplete his health to 0, he then retreats into that dark crater that I mentioned. Sora dives in, but then Ansem immediately puts up, I should say, a lot of fights are separated by like magical barriers that get put up, and they're often used just to keep certain allies from joining the fight. Donald and Goofy get locked out. A dark side appears, Sora fights and beats the dark side. And what's great about that fight is the dark side is the first big boss that he fought on Destiny Islands. And this fight is largely to showcase how much stronger Sora has gotten since the start of the game. Beats the dark side. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then he fights Ansem again, this time 1-on-1, or 2-on-1 if you consider the fact that the Guardian will sometimes pop up under Sora's shadow and grab him and immobilize him. But when Sora defeats that iteration, they're all sent to this like inky black void. And in here, you hear Ansem say, "Take a look. In this infinite darkness, there lies the door to the heart of all worlds. Kingdom Hearts!" And we get to see the door to darkness. Imagine giant, tall, white cathedral doors with stained glass windows and like ivory, like curving spikes jutting off the floor on both sides of the door, like going out and then up, almost looking like white split horns or antlers around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just floating on a rock platform in the middle of the darkness here. And then Ansem continues bragging. He says, "Look around for even the tiniest. You will not find it." Sora gasp. And as the music goes, da, 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 he says, "Darkness is the heart's truth." It's more intense than before, and the camera slowly pulls back, and we see World of Chaos, which is the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 1, well and truly, and it is a monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a battleship made of twisted flesh.
No.
Like,
I don't want to imagine that.
I'm going to send you a picture.
No.
Because me trying to describe it like correctly, it's gonna get lost in the sauce, right? Like I can't. Mm-hmm. Okay, here you go. This is World of Chaos.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's a Final Fantasy boss if there ever has been one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, you see where the Heartless emblem is, and you see how there's like abs and stuff. So, okay, when the fight starts, connected by tubes coming out of his back, going into that like slot, and he's floating in front of this big transformed version of the Guardian.
Okay.
And I should also notice he's a lot bigger. Like Sora's not quite as tall as that actual Heartless emblem. So, like, that's your scale for you. He's a little bit smaller than that emblem.
Mm-hmm.
So he appears like this. He has a pole arm, and you know Riku's sword that he had, Soul Edge. It's like a staff that has two soul edges, one on each end. So it's like a double-bladed polearm he's got. And as soon as he appears like this, whatever force was keeping them afloat vanishes. Donald and Goofy both fall into portals of darkness and disappear. Sora starts falling way down, and he voice in his head say, "Giving up already? Come on, Sora. I thought you were tougher than that." And so then Sora becomes starts sparkling with the pixie dust from Tinkerbell, and he flies up and he pulls his Keyblade out, and he's ready to fight one-on-one with this giant monstrosity. And the fight starts with Ansem's body itself, and he's hacking away at it, dodging lasers and shit, and like missiles that are firing at him. Eventually, he does enough damage that Ansem retreats back into that little cubby hole. The Heartless emblem becomes like a barrier that Sora can't get past, and he starts regenerating. from the energy that he's drawing from this entire behemoth. So Sora takes that opportunity to start fucking this shit up. One of those little like globules that you see, they're all like laser cannons, so Sora can start taking them out, but he starts damaging the systems, right? He damages part of it, a portal appears, he flies in, he sees in the pitch black darkness, Goofy is struggling Heartless by himself. Sora helps him out, and then they both fly out of the portal together. Then they fight the front of the ship with the giant face, and when they damage it badly enough, its mouth gapes open and there's another portal. They fly into that, they get Donald, help him fight Heartless, get back out. The front of the ship explodes, like the face just blows off. Then they go into the middle because like there was a barrier in that like middle section. It falls away. They take out more of the guns and everything. That little sad skull face on what appears to be a big purple zit. That's like a major battery part. They destroy that, and it fucks up the ship bad enough that Ansem now has no more ability to heal. His barrier falls away. He comes back out, and they now 3v1 time, and they do enough damage that World of Chaos explodes, and Ansem's normal form, which I can't remember. Did I ever show you what he looks like?
I think so, but I can't quite remember.
Okay, hang on. What? I don't know why some of these images have the texture. Okay, this is Ansem.
Okay.
And to show you the progression real quick, because I don't think I ever showed you the others, and I want you to be able to differentiate them. This is Master Xehanort, how he appeared in Birth by Sleep. All right?
All right.
Here, hang on. God damn it, what's with these fucking weird textures? This is Terra from Kingdom. I think I might have shown you him before.
Yeah.
Okay, so Terra when Xehanort possessed him.
All right.
And after he lost his memory and became the apprentice to Ansem the Wise, this is Apprentice Xehanort.
Cool.
Now that he looks quite a bit like Ansem Seeker of Darkness, which is his Heartless.
Right.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to get that out of the way. All right, so Ansem appears again. Now, before I say what happens there, we're going to hop back over to Aqua real quick. Aqua and Mickey traveled together through the Realm of Darkness for a little bit, and then they appear in Destiny Islands. They appear now, so during the World of Chaos fight. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy and them aren't there anymore. You know, they're fighting in their little space now.
Mm-hmm.
So Aqua's like, the islands, I've been here before. And Mickey's like, right. So the Kingdom Key realized here in the Destiny Islands. It's where it made itself known to my friend. So if there is a dark version, I would imagine that it would be here on this world in the Realm of Darkness. So he goes into the secret place, that wooden door in there. He opens it, and sure enough, floating in there, waiting for someone to take it, is the Kingdom Key D. And Mickey grabs it. It's like, all right, we're ready. uh, head with Aqua to finish things. At this point, Ansem is injured. He looks darkness, and he reaches out and he goes, "Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness." And the door to darkness slowly begins to open. The doors start to creak open, and this like black inky mist out. And some like revels in this. He goes, "Supreme darkness," and Sora goes, "You're wrong. I know now. Deep down, Kingdom Hearts is light." And a huge surge of light just bursts out. And it seems to it doesn't just hurt him physically, it hurts him emotionally. Like, he's so confused because all of his scientific study, every thought he knew, just seems to be wrong in this one moment. And he's just like, "Light, but why?" Right before he just like it clearly has an effect on him. He dies. There's a big old effect, and his body like vanishes. And I should say that kills Ansem, and Riku's body, which she was possessing, seems to relocate itself to where the manifestation of Riku was in the Realm of Darkness. So he's got his body back now. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy run to the doors and start pushing them closed. Because even if Kingdom Hearts is light, these doors still lead through the Realm of Darkness. A shit ton of shadows will come out and swarm them if they don't get this closed. And also the worlds won't be restored until they do that. So they're pushing and they're struggling. You're teaming up on one of the two doors, and Sora's trying to push the other one alone, and he's having trouble. Now, at this point, on the other side of that door, a bit of a distance away, Aqua and Mickey show up. And they're like, "All right, we're getting ready to end this." And Aqua's like, "Let me help them close the door, Mickey." And he's like, "Sorry, but that job's taken by someone else." And we see Riku actually start running towards the doors at this point. And as they go to join him, okay, so there's so I told you shadows are like the little weakest minions of the Heartless. There's a formation that they can take in the newer games, specifically when they're in the Realm of Darkness or empowered by incredibly dark, called the Demon Tide. Imagine like 200 shadows that are crawling on top of each other's bodies, and like stacking on top of each other so that they become like a tornado. Like just a swirling mass of little dark creatures.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. And so this demon tide, well, it's not a demon tide, it's a demon tower. Sorry. The tide is like a flowing stream through the air, but whatever. Point is, they're getting strength through numbers, and they go to attack, and Mickey okay, I told you it's super important that Mickey you know that he has a red shirt. He gets hit and it tears his shirt off.
Okay.
And that's it. They very, very specifically showed him in this shirt, showed his shirt get blasted off, only because in the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, he appears without a shirt, because it's the classic Mickey Mouse look. And they decided, of all things, they needed to explain why he was shirtless.
That's my favorite thing in the series so far.
It's ridiculous. So anyway, so like Aqua's like, I'll handle them. You get those doors locked. And she basically is like, let's take this outside. And she fucking like blasts the demon tower back out to the Destiny Islands. And she goes out there and she has a boss fight with it. And she actually starts having some dope ass internal monologue. She's like, I now know that the war for light is still going on, in the realm of light. I know that evil hasn't been vanquished. There's still more work to do. And if somebody else falls into this darkness, then I'll stay here and I will guide them out. I will be their wayfinder. I am Master Aqua, and I'm not finished yet. She said that, and I was like, I love her!
Cool.
So cutting back to the Kingdom Hearts 1 ending, Sora is trying to push the door closed, and he starts to say that he can't do it, and then a hand grabs it from the other side, and Riku is like, come on, Sora, together we can do it. And Sora's like, right. Now, a lot of people have gone, hey, why doesn't Riku step out of the door and side with them? To which the answer is, somebody needs to lock the door from the inside, so that's got to be Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
And Riku doesn't want to abandon him alone in the darkness. I should also say at this point, Riku has no idea that Aqua exists. So he stays inside. So they start closing the door together. A couple of dark sides appear behind Riku and are about to attack him. And Donald screams, "It's helpless!" And immediately get cut down. And then we see Mickey pop up, and he poses with a little halo of light around him. And he pulls out the Kingdom Key D and lifts it up and goes, "Now, Sora, let's close this door for good." And Sora is worried about trapping them in the realm of darkness. And Mickey just looks back and he goes, "Don't worry. There will always be a door to light." And so they continue pushing the doors shut, and Riku has a little slow motion smile as he looks out to Sora, and he just says, "Take care of her." And Sora gives a resolute nod. Riku accepts his fate as the doors are shut, and the music swells, and Sora lifts his Keyblade up, and Mickey lifts his up, and the two of them glow simultaneously, and the doors disappear into sparkles of light. Sora reminisces a little bit more about his childhood growing up with Riku, how he's his best friend, and he looks over and he sees that Kairi, through all the chaos of everything, has somehow wandered here from Traverse Town. And I'll say the ending here coincides with the ending for Fragmentary Passage for the most part. So, back on Destiny Islands, after having defeated the Demon Tower, Aqua is just laying in the sand, resting a little bit, and she seems to just be enjoying it. And then everything starts to break apart into sparkles of light around her, and she smiles and she says, "They did it. The worlds are being restored." And it like deletes itself from underneath her, and she's still laying, so she just starts falling down into the darkness. But she seems to have like a satisfied smile on her face. Despite still being trapped there. And so back where the door to darkness was, Sora runs over, grabs Kairi's hand, and then the two different land masses that they're standing on like break apart and start to slowly drift away from each other, and they're hanging onto each other by their hands. And he says, "Kairi, remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise." And she says, "I know you will." And as their hands break, they start hitting us with the "when you walk away," and like the slower, more somber.
I thought you were about to do "When You Wish Upon a Star."
No.
And I got excited.
They do the more somber version, because like the opening of Kingdom Hearts 1 is like the dance techno version of Simple and Clean.
Mm-hmm.
but this is the more like orchestral and somber version. Um, and as they get separated, these sparkles of light start to rain down around Kyrie, and one of them hits a certain spot and explodes, and a tree pops up, and another one explodes, and a bush pops up, and another one explodes, and a bunch of sand goes everywhere. And it is the world of Destiny Islands rebuilding itself around her. And as more and more of like the atmosphere and the barrier around the world and everything forms, she continues to see Sora, but now like the sort of glow of like the sky forming starts like surround him and close almost like an iris, and it starts to look like a blue fireball that he's inside of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so she's now standing at the shore, staring out at this like mass of blue fire, basically, before it finally disappears. And she sees all of these other lights shoot up. Like imagine like fireworks. Imagine like a million fireworks fire off into the sky at the same time, and everyone that explodes makes a new star in the sky. And after that happens, the sun comes up, blue skies again. Kyrie is now just sort of taking in everything, walking back around the Destiny Islands. She goes into the secret place. And I told you at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, we saw that Sora and Kyrie, when they were kids, they drew little cave pictures of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Riku's teasing, he wound up drawing himself giving a Palpu fruit to Kyrie. And, you know, again, the Palpu fruit is like when you share it with someone, your destinies become unbreakably intertwined. You will always be a part of each other's lives no matter what, or at least that's the legend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So him drawing that is to signify basically that he wants to be with Kyrie forever, and she sees it for the first time, and she's like shocked at first, but then she just starts smiling and crying. And the last thing we see before the credits roll for Kingdom Hearts 1 is her crouched down by this painting. And the camera pans a little bit, it goes dark, and one last flash as we see that the image now has both of them giving each other a Palpu fruit.
Hmm.
And the credits roll, and the last thing for Kingdom Hearts 1 is well, there's two things. So there's an original after credits scene that happened for the base version of the game, where it shows Sora, Donald, and Goofy walking through this big grassy field along a dirt road. And Donald and Goofy are wearing their classic outfits again, or for the first time, rather, in this game series. Like the orange shirt and the vest and the little sailor uniform.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing those. So I guess they changed clothes. They're just walking, and they're like, so now what do we do? And Sora's like, we gotta find Riku and King Mickey. And Goofy's like, all right, where do we start looking for that door to the light? With not an answer, the three of them are stumped. They just hang their heads and sigh. And then they see Pluto, who's walking with a letter with the king's seal in his mouth. And when Sora asks if he knows where King Mickey is, he runs off into the distance. The three of them smile brightly at each other, and they start chasing Pluto as the adventure music starts playing. And I will tell you, it's never explained why Pluto had that fucking letter, because because it never comes up again. We don't have any idea that Mickey actually was able to send a letter and get it to Pluto somehow, so they just dropped that. But it doesn't matter, because the road will lead them into Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Then there was a secret ending where if you complete certain requirements for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, that this was basically the point where Nomura was like, I don't have it confirmed that I'll be able to make more than one of these games. But if I was able to make more, let me show you what I would like the next games to look like. And he made a cutscene called Deep Dive. And it's one of the edgiest fucking things ever. But it's so cool. Um, okay, it opens at night. It's raining. It's a neon lit cityscape, a city that we've never seen before. There is a black cloaked figure with little peaks of blonde hair poking out from the hood, walking in the rain. He walks, and a bunch of Neo shadows, which are much cooler and more menacing versions of shadows, like just a fuck ton, like 1,000 of them, they just pop up, and he's surrounded. And so he pulls out a keyblade, and it's the Oath Keeper. But then his other hand moves, and he pulls out a second keyblade, and it's Oblivion. And he twirls them both, and he's got both Oath Keeper and Oblivion. And it makes you go, well, wait, what? How does this guy have two keyblades? Why are they Sora's keyblades? What is happening? And he starts just cutting through these things like butter. It's so cool. And then at the top of a skyscraper that he's right in front of, we see a figure that looks like Riku, maybe, but he's got longer hair. He's wearing a blindfold, and he's wearing a similar black cloak. He's standing on top of the skyscraper. And the first black cloaked and hooded figure starts running vertically up the skyscraper, and Riku just jumps down from the top of the skyscraper, and the first hooded figure throws Oblivion at him to attack him, but Riku manages to catch it out of the middle of the air, and as the figure is still running up, Riku falls down past him, and they look at each other before both landing back on the ground. The hooded figure has Oathkeeper now. Riku has Oblivion. They cut through all the rest of the Neo Shadows, and then they just start fighting each other.
Cool.
It was super fucking cool. And everyone was like, who is that? What is going on? And the answer would be revealed in Kingdom Hearts 2. But to finish a fragmentary passage, or more accurately, the original Birth by Sleep, after you play the secret episode of Aqua in the Realm of Darkness, which is sort of, it immediately goes into a fragmentary passage, we get a cutscene called Blank Points, with the secret ending of Birth by Sleep Final Mix, which is one of the best things ever. Oh, wait. No, Blank Points take place after Kingdom Hearts 2. So, I probably shouldn't say what happens in that. Okay. Just remind me when we finish Kingdom Hearts 2 to tell you about Blank Points.
Sure.
All right. So, we did it. We got through Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah! And now I've only got like 12-ish minutes until I gotta go, probably.
Okay. I will use this time to set up the very beginning of Days, because the next episode will mostly be talking just about Chain of Memories. But I should say Days starts before the beginning of Chain of Memories. And then all of the events of Chain of Memories happen, and then all of the rest of Days happens. So Days, technically, you could consider it that it takes place after. But so I'll talk about it after, but I want to set up the beginning first. Well, actually, the last thing I should say about Kingdom Hearts 1, there's secret bosses. One of them is an Agrabah. It's named Kurt Zisa, and it is named after a guy in New York who won a contest. Then there's the Phantom in Neverland. They're not like a big thing for the story. In Olympus Coliseum, there is, after you beat the Phil Cup, the Pegasus Cup, the Hercules Cup, and the Hades Cup, there's the gold match where you fight the Ice Titan, which is much, much harder than the pushover that the Rock Titan was. But other than that, there is the Platinum match, the final challenge in the Olympus Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 1. Sora runs into the arena. He looks up, a giant sigil, like a magic sigil, appears in the sky, and a fucking laser beam fires down from it, and it hits the ground. And as the light fades, we see a man with long silver hair and an extremely long sword with a single black wing, and he turns to Sora, and we hear dun 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 ha da 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 da. Then it's fucking Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII.
Cool.
Sora fights him. It's really fucking hard, but ultimately Sora manages to do enough damage that Sephiroth's like, all right, cool, and he pieces out. But the most important secret boss for the story, Sora goes back to Hollow Bastion, into the room where he fought Maleficent, and a black-robed figure appears. And in the original game, he's just called Unknown Man, but I will tell you, this is Xemnas, the nobody counterpart to Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. And he sort of walks through Sora, like he phases through him. And a bunch of like words flash across the screen very quickly, and they're all quotes having to do with memories of Sora, his time with Kairi, or about Kairi.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out recently what he's doing is he's actually copying Sora's memories of Kairi to use later. And he gets into a big fight, and he's like a fucking Star Wars character. He basically has 2 red lightsabers. It's just that the lasers come out of the palms of his hands, so they go straight out in the same direction as his arm. So it's not like a perpendicular thing like how you hold a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a right angle like how you normally hold a sword. It comes straight out. But he's got 2 of these red laser blades, and he shoots lightning at you. So it's very Sith. Again, ultimately, Sora does enough damage to make him back off, but he goes, you remind me a lot of him, but you are incomplete. And then he leaves. So again, he's talking about Roxas, the nobody of Sora that was created. I think that's more or less everything you got to know, because we can next time. Do you feel like you're getting a decent grasp on the story?
More or less.
Cool. I feel the need to ask every time. Are you sure that like this isn't insanely boring to you?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you once again for listening to me explain this story, and thank you, listener, for listening. If you made it this far, you can join the Discord. We have discussions over there. Make sure to give the Fandom Optimists, Jordan's podcast, a listen.
Oh, that would be so nice.
You can follow him at Fandom Optimists on Twitter. You can follow me at Cape Corner on Twitter.
And Blue and I will be recording some Spider-Man No Way Home stuff tomorrow. It will start with a non-spoiler review, so if you start listening to that episode, you'll be safe for a little while. I promise you'll get a warning.
We will put a giant siren in the middle of the. I might actually like YouTube a siren noise.
Lit.
But yeah, you can support the series if you want. Just go to my Anchor page. There's a support link. Share the episode with a friend, please. Any of my episodes. You can look at all of the episodes I've got so far. Anything that you think your friends might be interested in. I didn't put an ad break. That's the thing I forgot. Got it. I'll figure out a place that goes. Don't worry. Everybody.
True to form.
You know how I do. Everybody, thank you so much. Stay strong. Stay true to yourselves. And remember, we can all be heroes.